So imagine this. Imagine if a doctor prescribed things that were proven to be harmful for his patients. Imagine, for instance, if a doctor prescribed a drug and the drug was known to cause heart problems and other severe problems. It was untested and prescribed it for something that it was never meant to be used for. Now, sure enough, people have done things like that, but in very small studies. Imagine if a doctor prescribed the use of disinfectants. What if a doctor said, hey, why don't you inject this bleach or this Lysol or this deadly drug? You know, the same kinds of things, the poisons that people came out, and even the people that make those things came out and said, hey, man, don't ever do that. Imagine a doctor had done those things. A doctor said, take this drug that we know is unproven. Take this drug that we know is harmful. Take this drug that is untested. Take this drug for something it was never intended for. Imagine a doctor told you to take Lysol or ingest bleach or Clorox. Imagine a doctor doing that. Imagine what would happen. Do you know what would happen to that doctor if a doctor did that? That doctor would lose his ability to practice medicine. He would lose his livelihood. He would lose his job. And it would be difficult for him to ever practice medicine again. He couldn't do it because of an oath he took. He took a Hippocratic oath to do no harm. Now imagine those very things are said and done under the guise of the President of the United States of America. He too took an oath. That oath was to the Constitution. That oath was to protect its citizens, not to do them harm. That oath he took and swore the same way the doctor did. Only the doctor has real live consequences for doing exactly what the President of the United States of America is doing right now. If a doctor told you to take a drug that could cause you harm, much less telling you to prescribe Lysol or inject a disinfectant, he would lose his job. How is it that those same things can be done by the President of the United States of America and nothing happened? He now is saying he's taking a drug, which I doubt. First off, he's fat, he's old, and he's not in great condition. So if in fact he is taking it, it won't be long before we know that. But if he isn't taking it, and he's saying he is, then that's even worse, because he's going to call, wait a minute, it ain't worse. No, matter of fact, I hope everybody does. You know what? If you believe Trump, if you believe in what he says, do what he does. Don't wear a mask. Don't socially distance. Say everything is fake. Take drugs that aren't proven. Ingest yourself with all the disinfectants you want. Do it. You know what? As a matter of fact, this whole note from the GED section wrong. That doctor would keep his job. It would just be on Fox News. You have an obligation when you take an oath, whether to your profession or to your public, to be committed to that oath. The things that Donald Trump has suggested and championed should cost him not only his job, but his freedom. If people start dying because of this, that blood is on his hands. If people start dying because of the things he didn't do or he did, that blood is on his hand. If a doctor can't do these things, why should we let the president do them? That's a little note from the GED section. It's the D.L. Hughley Show.